today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. Save the Manatee Club has helped to protect imperiled manatees and their aquatic habitat for decades, but there's still more work to be done. Threats from cold weather, red tides, pollution, and boat collisions continue to take their toll on the manatee. So let's work together to safeguard the manatees and the places they call home. Be the friend they need. Visit SaveTheManatee.org. Thank you.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club-style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
If you're thinking about a yard do-over for the spring, the time to start is right now. And that's where Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery in Ocala really shines. For just a tune-up or a total redo, Bob Wine's experts can do it all for a surprisingly low price, and they'll do it on time. Bring your ideas. Better yet, bring your photos, and we'll get started right away. And by the way, check this week's big colorful ad for some unbeatable buys like these. Gorgeous African Iris, just $3.99. Foxtail Fern, only $8.99. And they've got a gigantic selection of Easy Care Drift Roses, many colors, just $22.99. By all means, don't miss the Camellia Show Spectacular daily, every day now until April. It's all right now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, right there in the same blooming place since 1952.
Florida's Kids Helping Kids is proud to be hosting the Marion County Fair Winter Carnival. Our chili cook-off for kids is February 26th, as well as our beauty contest. The Marion County Fair will also feature Jimmy Riffle and Sarah from the Gator Boys. It'll have camel rides, pony rides, and a petting zoo. There'll be live entertainment sponsored by our talented local performers. You can save by purchasing your tickets to the fair during a pre-sale by going to dreamland-events-upcoming-events-carnival/#Marion. For more information or for vendor space and entertainment schedules, go to MarionCountyFairFL.com. It's the Marion County Fair Winter Carnival, sponsored by Kids Helping Kids.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday. Over the weekend, a lot of stuff was going on in Ocala, but one thing that was an event that I thought was going to be more somber than it was, but it ended up being a very good event, was a celebration of life of contributor to the Ocala Civic Theater. He was a professor of history at CF, across, right there on 200. He also was part of the Ocala Star Banner. He worked the Ocala Star Banner for quite a while. And a lot of people turned out to celebrate the life of Professor Darrell Riley from CF. It was held at the Ocala Civic Theater because he had 20-plus years of dedication to the Ocala Civic Theater, to the people of the Ocala Civic Theater, the people who act and work and serve on the boards, and the volunteers. He had a 20-plus year dedication to the Ocala Civic Theater. He actually was in plays, behind the scenes. He was very integral in the Ocala Civic Theater scene. He also taught history at the College of Central Florida. He was a member of the Historical Commission, the Marion County Historical Commission, which I served with him for the last 6.5 years until his passing in December. And it was fitting, it was brought up that it was fitting that he passed away on December 7th, which was a major historical holiday, a major historical remembrance day. Not a holiday, but a major historical remembrance day as the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And, a lot of tongue-in-cheek would talk about how Darrell thought he knew everything. Those of us who knew Darrell think pretty much he might have known everything. People always say, you think you're such a know-it-all. And at times I do think I know a lot, but not as much as Darrell Riley. This was a man who, him and I didn't always see eye to eye, folks. We've had some spirited conversations, him and I, where, sunshined, of course, because we were on the Historical Commission. So we had some spirited conversations during the Historical Commission meetings. We've had some ideology conversations about where our ideology doesn't agree, him and mine, and they've been some spirited conversations, and at times some angry conversations. But the one thing we never lost was respect for each other. I'm honored and pleased to have said that Darrell Riley was a friend of mine. He was one of these guys that had a lot of best friends, or a lot of people that would say Darrell Riley was their best friend because of how he treated people and how he made people feel. And so this weekend on Saturday morning at the Ocala Civic Theater, there was a celebration of life for Darrell Riley. And it was said very early on that this is a celebration of life. Don't get in the gloomy, somber mood, because that's not what he'd have wanted. And that is so accurate about the man that Darrell Riley was. If you ever took a history class with him, his love of just the knowledge of history was contagious. He would show up and act out a lot of the historical situations. He would dress up as Lincoln and do the Gettysburg Address. He was an entertainer, but he was also an educator. He was just a quality human being. If you did not have the fortune of knowing Darrell Riley, I apologize to you, because you missed out on one of the true gentlemen and true just good people in our community that was taken from us way too early. And it was one of those things that came to you as a shock. I remember vividly, I was in my living room. It was in the early afternoon, and I'd got off the radio here and went home. I was in my living room, and my phone rings, and I look at it, and it's from Marion County. So I pick up my phone, and I go, "This is Tom." And Jennifer, who is our liaison with the Historical Commission, because as a sunshined commission, we can't talk to each other. Board members can't talk to each other directly about board stuff unless, we're sunshine, because how the laws are in this state. So Jennifer is our liaison, that we send emails to Jennifer, and then she sends them on to other people. We call Jennifer and say something to her, then she talks to other board members. We're not allowed to do that. So Jennifer calls and she says, Tom, this is Jennifer. I'm not thinking about Jennifer from the county. I'm not putting two and two together. She goes, I'm calling you to tell you Daryl has passed. And in my wildest dreams, I couldn't put two and two together because I never suspected Daryl Riley was who she was talking about. I know 4 or 5 different Daryls. If you'd asked me, Daryl Riley would have been the last person I'd have picked as who she was talking about had passed. She goes, Daryl Riley. And I go, what, huh? That does not compute. And I found out at this celebration of life over the weekend that that's how a lot of people took that phone call in the couple days after he had passed from us. That quite a few people took, what, who? Daryl, no, not Daryl Riley. That was how it was taken by a lot of people. Well, Daryl Riley did pass unexpectedly, but his legacy and his thoughts and his processes will live on. I got that from the celebration of life this weekend, was just how important he was to not just a few people, but a mass of people. And his contribution to this community. I was not aware of how in-depth he was involved with the Ocala Civic Theater. I'd seen him in a couple productions, but I never knew how just involved and behind the scenes and on the board of directors he was. And I never knew he'd worked at the Star Banner. He was the librarian. He was the archivist for the Star Banner. Back when it was still a functioning newspaper that had a full staff and everything, not the shell of itself that it is now. But he was the archivist, the librarian for the newspaper, the Ocala Star Banner. A paper, by the way, that is rich in its heritage of when it was born, the people that have worked there, the people that have come through there. And Daryl was in charge of all of that, to keep the history of it. Yet another contribution to this community that most people didn't know Daryl Riley did. If you ever took a history class, if you had a history class with him at CF, you know the great guy I'm talking about. At times he could be a little cantankerous. That was told by a lot of people too. There were people actually, intimidated by Daryl Riley. Him and I, like I said, didn't always see eye to eye. There's been some cantankerous exchanges between us, none more so than what I wish I could take back now, because, if you knew back then what you know now, you might handle situations differently. And I want to say this publicly, that I would have handled the situation differently had I known. But Daryl wasn't a guy who let you know about all the tests he was facing. He kept a good demeanor. So I remember when the pandemic first happened and we got shut down and all, I was angry about it. Took work away from me and everything, and now everybody was wearing masks and blah, 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 and put your mask on and everything, and I said, I'm not doing it. And I went to a historical commission, and they all had masks on, and I walked in, and I'm the only one without a mask on. And Daryl goes, you need a mask. I go, no, I don't. He goes, why would you not put a mask on? I go, because I'm not a sheep. And boy, his blood boiled like nobody's business. And we had an exchange that can't be repeated on the radio between us. And at the time, I didn't know that he was coming out of some medical situations that we should have had masks on regardless of whether there was a pandemic or not. If I'd have known about those situations, I'd have handled it different. And in retrospect, I wish I had have. But here's the stand-up guy Daryl Riley was. He comes to me at the end of that meeting and goes, hey, now I have barked back at him. When he barked at me, I barked back at him. And he comes to me after the meeting and he goes, hey, I could have handled that better. I want to apologize to you for jumping on you like that. I could have handled that a little different. And that's the type of guy Daryl Riley was. And that's what we no longer have in the city of Ocala. And we will miss it dearly without the contributions of Daryl Riley at the Ocala Civic Theater, without the contributions of Darryl Riley when he worked at Star Banner as the archivist, and without his contribution as a professor at College of Central Florida, and what myself and my colleagues will miss as a member of the Marion County Historical Commission. Darryl Riley will sorely be missed. He was a top-notch guy. He was a stand-up guy. We are now, even though our community is still good, we're a lesser community now with the passing of Professor Know-It-All, cantankerous, trivia whiz, Darryl Riley. And I just wanted to just give him that thanks that he was a top-notch guy. And although we didn't see eye to eye, he had my respect, and I had his friendship, and it's a lot to be said for that. So we're going to miss Darryl, but as everything, life goes on, but we sorely will miss the contributions of Darryl Riley to our great community. We'll be right back after this timeout.